Hi guys, how are you doing? My name is Neil, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to answer a question that you guys have been asking for quite some time now. Which is the best for high gain? The Donner Arena 2000 or the Sonicake Matribox 2? Right guys, first of all, before we get on with the demo, I just want to explain to you a couple of things about both of these multi-effects processors, because people are led to believe that because they are both made in China that they are the same, and they are not at all. They are completely different. They operate different and they sound completely different as well. So first of all, the Donner Arena 2000 is around the same price as the Sonicake Matribox 2. The only thing I will say is that the Donner Arena 2000 has been out a while now, and you can choose different mics and different mic placements within the amp models, or should I say the cab sims, whereas in the Sonicake Matribox 2 you can't. You just choose the cab that you want and you don't really know what mic is on it. The other thing that I will say is that the Donner Arena 2000 has some great clean tones on it. It does have a lot of high gain amps and it covers them thoroughly. What I mean by that is, like the JVM, for instance, it shows you every channel on the screen of the JVM. It's covered every channel, and same for the EVH. There's the EVH and all three channels. Whereas on the Sonicake Matribox 2 and the Matribox 1 for that matter, you just pick the EVH and either a clean or a gain. The Donner Arena 2000 covers the Marshall JVM really well. It covers all the channels. Does it sound like it? Well, I'm going to find out in another video when I pair it up against the JVM 410. The Sonicake Matribox 2 has tons of gain on the amps there, like you'd expect from a high gain amp like the ones you see behind me here. Most high gain amps, if you put a clean boost in front of them, which means gain on 0 and volume on full blast, then what you will find is that you will be using like the crunch channel or the medium gain channel to boost. If it was an EVH, you'd use the blue channel. You know, if it was a JVM, you'd probably use, you know, the orange channel. So when you dial in the Matribox 2 and you put the gain around 3, maybe 4, that is what you would do on a real amp. However, on the Donner Arena 2000, I've found that the high gain amps have a hell of a lot less gain. Okay, this may appeal to some of you guys out there, but for others it may put you off. A quick example, one of the amps that I'm going to talk about in a minute that I used in this demo in the Donner Arena 2000, the gain was up on 75%. For a high gain amp and a high gain channel, that is really high. And I also had a clean boost in front. If this was a real amp, it would be way too much gain. It would be out of control. Nobody would want that much gain. It would be noisy. It would sound terrible. But I felt like on the Donner Arena 2000 that the gain on 75% was probably the equivalent of a normal high gain head on about 2 or 2.5, something like that. These are things that you need to consider before you decide which one you are going to purchase. In this demo, guys, I've tried to make it as fair as possible. Obviously, two different processors, like I've explained, they work completely different and they sound completely different as well. For me, the Matribox 2, I was trying to dial out low end, and on the Donner Arena 2000 I was doing the opposite, trying to dial it in. So on the Donner Arena 2000 I'm trying to find some more low end punch, and on the Matribox 2 I was trying to bring it out a bit more with a bit more high mids. The guitar that I'm using in this demo is a lovely guitar here that is a really affordable guitar, which is why I thought I'd use it in this demo. It's an EC256 by LTD or ESP. It's a great guitar, it's a loan guitar. They sent it out to me and said do a review, which I've done on it, see what you think and use it on the channel. So that's what I'm doing. First of all, you're going to hear a Soldano SLO 100 on both the units with an SLO cab matching 412 as well. Then you are going to hear a Friedman BE 100 on both of these processors. This time I used a California 412 on the Matribox 2 and a Mesa 412 standard on the Donner Arena 2000. I'm assuming they're the same cabs. The only issue here is with the IRs or the cab sims, whatever you want to call them, is the Donner Arena 2000 you can choose different mics and different mic placement, whereas the Sonicake Matribox 2, sorry, you can't do that. You just choose a cab and that's it, you're good to go. Please bear in mind that the settings on both these units are totally different because they sound nothing like each other, like they couldn't be any further apart. The Sonicake Matribox 2 has more gain on all amps and more low end, and the Donner Arena 2000 has less gain and more kind of boxy mids going on. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it. Let's listen to the clips where I'm just going to riff around and chug around on the LTD EC256. Let's go. Right guys, what do you think to that? My opinion is that one just basically has much more gain than the other. The Sonicake Matribox 2, their amp models have the amount of gain that you would expect on the real amps, okay? High gain amps, when you're putting a boost in front, you only need them on like 2, 3 or 4 on the dial, okay? If you get them higher than halfway, it just sounds, it's too much gain, okay? Nobody really does that. It sounds a pretty big mess. The Hotone Arena 2000, I felt like I needed the amps on 50% minimum, you know, and higher. But even then, you can still hear in this demo, I think that the Hotone Arena 2000 amp models had less gain. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I think, guys. I don't do these demos for me. I do them for you guys out there. I want you guys to let me know in the comments below what you think. Which one of these processors is the best for metal, going on what I've just shown you. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Thanks very much for requesting this demo, whatever your names were. There were 4 or 5 of you that requested this demo. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for subscribing, and I'll see you all later.